Welcome back to Indian Asks Aussie Answers. I'm Krish.
And I'm Felicity. Today we're discussing key body language cues in Australia and how they differ from those in India. Let's start with Australian norms, shall we, Krish?
Sounds good, Felicity. I've noticed that a firm handshake is quite common in Australia. What does that signify?
A firm handshake is often seen as a sign of confidence and openness here. It's a standard greeting in both social and professional settings. Contrast that with Indian norms, where handshakes might not be as common, especially between genders.
Uh, right, in India, it's more about a polite nod, like I'm doing, or namaste, especially if it's mixed gender interactions. What about the eye contact in Australia?
Direct eye contact is important. It signifies honesty and interest in the conversation. Avoiding eye contact can sometimes be perceived as disinterest or dishonest.
That's quite different from Indian norms. Let me share a story. Look, I met a gentleman who came from India, very highly qualified gentleman, and I met him at McDonald's. But throughout the conversation, he was not looking in my eye, into my eye, or he was not having a direct eye contact. And I found that was disrespectful. But then I realized back in India, you don't look in the eye because, especially coming from traditional settings, less direct eye contact, especially with elders or superiors, is actually a sign of respect.
Interesting. It shows how cultural context can change the interpretation of a gesture. What about posture?
I have observed that Australians have a relaxed postures. I mean, not slouchy, but relaxed postures, which seems to reflect a friendliness and ease.
Exactly. Relaxed postures here doesn't mean a lack of interest. It's more about being comfortable and approachable. In contrast, what's the norm in India?
In India, posture might be more formal, especially in a professional settings, in a way of showing respect and seriousness. Adapting to these differences can be challenging, right? So, any tips for our viewers, Felicity?
The key is to be observant and adaptable. In professional settings in Australia, adopt a firm handshake and maintain good eye contact. In social settings, mirroring the other person's body language can help with fitting in.
That makes sense. And it's important to remember it's okay to stick to your comfort zone initially, right? I mean, gradually, when you start adopting the local norms, you will become more comfortable, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. And always be aware of the setting. What's appropriate in a casual social setting might not be in a business meeting.
True. Observing how others are interacting in similar situations can be a great guide. And when in doubt, it's okay to ask someone who trusts for advice or clarification, wouldn't it?
Definitely. Remember, adapting to a new culture's body language is a journey. Be patient with yourself and open to learning.
Thanks, Felicity, and for the insights. And thank you all for joining us. We hope this discussion helps you to navigate the nuances of body language in Australia.
See you next time on Indian Asks Aussie Answers. Keep learning and adapting.
థ్యాంక్ యూ. మళ్ళొకసారి అది తెలుగులో సమ్మరైజ్ చేయడానికి మీరు మా థంబ్ నెయిల్ చూస్తుంటే కనుక నేను కూడా హ్యాండ్స్ ఫోల్డ్ చేసుకొని ఉన్నాను, ఫెలిసిటీ కూడా హ్యాండ్స్ ఫోల్డ్ చేసుకొని ఉంది. ద రీజన్ వీ ఇంటెన్షనలీ డిడ్ దట్, మన ఇండియన్ సినారియోలో హ్యాండ్స్ ఫోల్డ్ చేసుకోవడం షోస్ గ్రేట్ రెస్పెక్ట్. Whereas in Australian scenario, she was the way folding hands shows I am not accepting what you are saying. So crossing hands అనేది it's not a good gesture. ఆస్ట్రేలియాలో, ఇండియాలో ఇట్స్ ఎ గుడ్ జెస్చర్. సో బీ అవేర్ ఆఫ్ దట్. మళ్ళొక్కసారి కూడా డైరెక్ట్ ఐ కాంటాక్ట్ అనేది చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. అండ్ పోస్చర్, డోంట్ బీ స్లౌచీ బట్ మోర్ రిలాక్స్డ్ పొజిషన్. మన ఇండియాలో ఫార్మల్గా ఉన్నప్పుడు చాలా స్టిఫ్గా కూర్చొని ఉంటాము, బట్ యూ విల్ నోటీస్ దట్ ఆస్ట్రేలియన్ సినారియోలో దే ఆర్ మోర్ రిలాక్స్డ్. I hope these things will help you in your navigating your journey in Australia. Thank you for watching. Bye.